Just a second here. We are going to YouTube now. Perfect. Well, good morning to everyone. Welcome to this new session of webinar where we are going to talk about VSSL products. We are going to talk about some new products that we are going to receive maybe on November, maybe on December. So here with us is Don Bullock, sorry, and Yvette. Guys, welcome. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Yes, we are going to wait about a couple of minutes to see if someone else is going to join us, and we are ready to start with all this great information.
Fabulous.
Wonderful.
While we're waiting for our additional attendees to join us, for the benefit of those who have joined early, I can do some backstory on some of our products, which will be sort of a reward for being on time. The MX series, of course, is the third portfolio product in the Vessel brand, following the current product, the X series, and then the introduction 2 years ago of the SX series. The SX series, of course, now is the focus of the contest for EPCOM. The MX series was designed to do a couple of things, and so it was very purposeful that we've leveraged a specific acronym to be able to connect these new products into the existing portfolio of products. Of course, the X series follows the very successful first products that Vessel introduced the company is 10 years old now, but it took 2 years to develop the very first products. So the very first products, the A6, the A series, was introduced about 8 years ago. And so now the X series, as the line of powered amplifiers, becomes the previous products for or the products upon which the MX series are based. And so the M in MX series is very purposeful. That M stands for modular. Modular intending to describe a way of building configurations, building larger configurations in a home environment or in a commercial environment. And then as we move forward with continued product development, you'll see that modularity, that scalability continue to manifest in new products that Vessel will introduce in the future. Our expectation is to have probably at least two new products in 26. And so if you were to look at the current portfolio of products, you could probably make some reliable predictions on where we'll be going. But that certainly what we have found and what we will have continued to highlight around these new products is that the MX series is that foundation product. These first two products introduced into the portfolio for the benefit of building future products around this architecture. So very fun. On a personal note, I've been with the company now for 18 months. And so it's taken a little over 18 months to develop the MX series products. They started shortly before I joined the company last year. And so roughly new products take anywhere from 18 to 24 months to develop. And we've seen about an 18 to 20 month development cycle for these new products. So they've been in the works for quite a while. We are very fortunate to be able to finally discuss them with you today.
Perfect, Don. So I think we can start with the presentation now.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Don.
Thank you. Yvette, why don't you kick us off?
Well, I do want to just jump on and say we're so excited to be here and to be here with EPCOM. We know like audio can be like a new category for you guys, but we see so much potential. This is a way for you guys to add amazing products to your portfolios and to really grow your business. And why I'm so excited about today is we have Don Bullock. You guys, he is the CEO of Vessel. He's so passionate about this brand. We are so lucky he joined our company. He is very innovative, visionary. He has a roadmap for Vessel and he's making things happen. So with that, I really want to turn it over to Don so he can introduce two new exciting products that Epcom will have in stock, just like Miguel said. End of November, early December. We will be ready to just blow your socks off. That, here you go, Don.
Thanks, Yvette. And truthfully, I couldn't do this without Yvette. She has been absolutely incredible, and she is an amazing advocate for EPCOM within the Vessel company. So grateful for all of her contributions, grateful for the partnership of EPCOM. Having come from the IT industry previous to joining Vessel, I've got over 20 years of channel experience, having worked for a distributor and for dealers or resellers in the IT space. In addition, Vessel is the fourth manufacturing company that I've had the privilege of working with, and I can say with 100% assurity that it's the best job I've ever had. The quality of talent, the quality of our channel partners, the opportunity to work with each of you, and certainly as we look forward into 2026, greater expansion and reach of Vessel within your accounts, and certainly the opportunity to partner with you to create some amazing home audio solutions. So we're really looking forward to receiving your feedback. Today is not intended as a unidirectional presentation. I hope that today will be an opportunity to kick off greater communication with you and your teams to better understand how we can work together to better partner as you deliver these solutions to your end customers. As Yvette had mentioned, the home audio space is incredibly exciting. There's so much going on. There's so many quality companies who are building solutions that are amazing and they can deliver incredible capability. Vessel has been in the business for a while, and I would say with again with certain confidence that we have turned a corner, not only in the context of our capabilities relative to manufacturing, but also the degree of the technology innovation that we've built into these products. And so that's really where we want to start today, is looking at how Vessel is taking its business one step further and in partnership with you, being able to deliver some amazing new home audio solutions, leveraging this incredibly new modern architecture. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the MX series. When we started to look at what we wanted to do, what we wanted to build, we really started off by trying to better understand how Vessel products are currently being deployed in various environments today. And so what I saw when I started to think about and analyze the business was I really saw two fundamental pillars. One was the technology pillar. How are we delivering technology and capabilities into these platforms that give our end customers the ability to do things that they want to do, listen to music, listen to audio, listen to movies, and enjoy an experience that's second to none. That technology enables us to deliver on those objectives, but we really also want to do the second piece of this, which is to perfect that experience. The experience is not only in the context of our end user customers and what they can enjoy, but it's especially pertinent to us because we're a channel company and we actively partner with our distributors and our dealers to improve the process of building these solutions. So for us, it's not just about the experience that we can deliver to the end user customer, but it's also other things that we wrap around these products to create this complete solution for a dealer, world-class service and support, capability of being able to better connect with our technical support capabilities, our ability to be able to deliver information faster. We want to be easier to do business with. We would not only want to be the most profitable home audio company in the industry, but we also want to be considered one of the easiest to do business with. And in the context of being able to deliver innovation, a unique company within the home audio space. When we start to think about how we could then, I guess, bubble up these considerations, one of the things that we also wanted to consider was how end user customers were actually leveraging these products. And what we found was that Vessel products tend to be aggregated around very specific experiences. Whether you're watching a game or you're in your home gym, you're using your Vessel to connect to the music that inspires you. you're at home enjoying a movie night. You want to create an environment where you can get pumped up before you get on a presentation to deliver to your most important partner and their dealers. Whatever it is, you want to be able to leverage music as that single point of inspiration to give you that next step as you connect into that experience. So that's really what Vessel wants to do. Is we want to associate the company, the brand, with those experiences that end user customers enjoy, and therein lies the new tagline that we created specifically for the launch of the MX series products. Every journey begins here. Whatever journey that is, whether it's a fitness journey or an entertainment journey or a journey where you're trying to look for inspiration and find it in the music that you enjoy, we want your journey to begin here with Vessel. And so now you'll start to see this new tagline manifest into the different marketing materials that we've created specifically around the MX series, but not just around the MX series. This covers the entirety of the Vessel brand. For the MX series, we also wanted to create something very special for that as well. And when we look at the MX series, what we're really starting to see are these distinctions in the Vessel business, not only from the X series and the SX series upon which the MX series is built, but also how Vessel really distinguishes itself from other brands, other companies in the industry. We wanted to talk about what are some of the unique things that we can do and deliver for the benefit of our dealers and help them to build solutions that are better than anyone else's in the industry for our end user customers. We focus on that notion of simplicity, ease of setup, the ability to be able to not only get to your music faster, but make it easier to enjoy that. We want to remove the complexity and the difficulty that customers have experienced with other products in the marketplace because of application issues, etc., and give them a platform upon which they can enjoy reliability and quality. And again, get to that point of enjoyment and inspiration faster. Simplicity, ease of setup, and ease of use become hallmarks of what Vessel is trying to deliver across our entire ecosystem. And one of the ways that we're starting to do that is by building a better software platform for our dealers and our end user customers. We're also extending the capabilities of our certifications, but not just that, but also the driver portfolio. One of the things that we have been limited by in the past with regard to previous architectures is the extent to which these platforms have been able to integrate into control system platforms, specifically like Control4 and Crestron and others that are utilized across the market. One of the things that we get with what we consider to be a modern architecture is the ability to be able to have a more diverse, complete set of drivers that are available for this control system integration. And so that's another hallmark of the MX series line. In addition, we've also continued to build in functionality into the Vessel application. So much so that we've actually started to build a second Vessel application, and we'll talk about that in just a few minutes. So one of the things we're doing is today the Vessel application is just known as Vessel. It is the black icon with the single Vessel V. That application continues, and in version 2.0, which we'll show here in a few minutes, that will get launched commensurate with the launch of the MX series devices. We'll now call that application Vessel Connect. Vessel Connect is not only a setup application, but now gives you more complete management of those devices across the entirety of the ecosystem. And we'll talk about what some of those changes and new features include. But for the very first time, Vessel is introducing a new application into its software portfolio, the ability to actually remotely manage these devices from anywhere in the world. Again, we're trying to focus on delivering simplicity, ease of setup, and ease of use. So one of the ways that we really can advocate for that and create an opportunity for our dealers is by making it easier for them to manage these devices from wherever they happen to be. If they get a call from a homeowner about an issue that they've encountered and it's during weekend hours, maybe the dealer's not in their office, maybe their technician is not, but we want to give them the ability to support that end user. Again, we're trying to advocate for them in front of their end user customers, giving them the ability to actually dial in, if you will, into that environment, troubleshoot the device, and with the hopes of being able to quickly remedy any issues that might be found. That's the kind of functionality we want to be introducing into the platform and into the ecosystem. And for that, we have the new application that we'll be coming out with later this year called Vessel Insight. Vessel Insight is that remote management functionality. We look forward to coming back onto this call with you in the future to be able to talk more completely about Vessel Insight. In addition to other capabilities that we'll enjoy through the applications, we're actually embedding new features into the applications. We'll highlight a couple just right here. Number one is the ability to have true multi-room source sharing. People have been asking about this for a long time. It's something that our competitors enjoy in their platform. Our ability to be able to create multi-room environments has truly been limited to whatever the protocol could do in the past, specifically Google Cast or Apple AirPlay. Now we're actually embedding true multi-room support independent of protocol into the application to give you the ability to create these very complete environments customized to the homeowner, all the way up to what I call stadium mode, the ability to be able to broadcast a single signal across the entirety of the environment. So think really large home environments where you've got multiple rooms, indoors and outdoors, and now you can create this very extravagant multi-room environment. So when we think about all the things that we are doing here, this is where we really start to lean in on what MX series can do, and that is why we have it. That is why it has its own tagline, which is where music makes memories. Again, the ability to be able to connect these devices to the experiences that end user is looking to enjoy to help complete. It's now my pleasure to introduce to you the very first product in the MX series line, the MS1. The MS1 is unique for a number of reasons. First and foremost, because it is Vessel's very first streaming product. As many of you are aware, today Vessel has a single zone product, the A1X. The A1X has been fantastic. It is without question the most popular product by volume in Vessel's portfolio. We have enjoyed tremendous success with this product as it's been deployed in both indoor environments behind TVs as well as in outdoor environments powering some amazing audio solutions. But one of the difficulties that we encountered with the A1X is that it tried to do so much. Today, the A1X can be both an amplifier and a streamer. And a dealer can deploy those in either scenario, just using the switch on the back of the device. However, although it's a fantastic amplifier, one of the difficulties is when you turn the device into a streaming mode only, it becomes kind of an expensive streamer because you don't get a price break just because you turn the amplification off. And so what we wanted to do was to deliver dedicated devices that are designed to be optimized for each one of those scenarios. A single zone amplifier and a single streaming device. This is that single streaming device, the MS1, S for streamer. In addition to being the very first streamer in the Vessel portfolio, this is also our very first product to introduce Power over Ethernet into the Vessel portfolio. So we had a great opportunity, and I remember when I made the decision that we wanted to actually try to do more with other networking products in the industry that were delivering this Power over Ethernet capability. One of the dealers, and specifically, was asking me about how we can simplify the ability to be able to deploy these devices. And I asked him a very simple question, like, what if I could cut your number of cables in half? And he said, that'd be fantastic. And so the very first thing we did was we got rid of the power cord. So now we have the ability using Power over Ethernet to actually both power the device and deliver systems performance to the device, which is fantastic. In addition to Power over Ethernet, this device also gets a feature that many people have been requesting for quite a while of the A1X. That is the ability to support HDMI eARC native in the device. And so on the picture on the left, you can see that HDMI eARC port just above the PoE Ethernet port on the back of the device. In addition to HDMI eARC, though, we don't stop there. Again, this is a modern architecture, so we're leveraging everything that this device is capable of built into the silicon that we chose to, for the architecture itself. And one of those features is Bluetooth LE audio. Now, Bluetooth LE audio today doesn't necessarily mean a whole lot to the Vessel portfolio. It is fantastic, fast, reliable Bluetooth. But the difference is that we're actually going to be able to leverage Bluetooth LE audio in the future to do more things like create RCast environments. You'll be able to do that today with these devices, but this will become more apparent and clear in the future as we leverage Bluetooth LE audio as that interconnect between devices. Today, the SX series, for example, uses the ClearNet technology to be able to create a wireless interconnect environment that connects the soundbar to the sub to the surround sound speakers. And for us today, we are transitioning from that ClearNet interconnect to now an industry standard Bluetooth interconnect, and that is Bluetooth LE audio. So Bluetooth LE audio is native in the device and can be leveraged as you're building your home audio solutions. As I mentioned before, we are embedding support for all of the major drivers into the device. Control 4, Crestron, Elon, RTI, URC, plus we've been working closely with the Josh AI team to also introduce support for Josh AI into this environment. So we are very quickly expanding the capability of the Vessel portfolio to be able to integrate with all of the major control system platforms, but as well integrating into other platforms that give us greater reach, plus give us the ability to better compete against other platforms that support those technologies today or that will support those technologies in the future. Net, Vessel is becoming very quickly an industry-leading brand, not just a participant in the home audio space. As I already mentioned, multi-room source sharing is one of the features that this product will introduce for the very first time in the Vessel portfolio, but we don't stop there. We also leverage capabilities within the device to introduce onboard streaming services, the ability to be able to support streaming from within the application. You don't have to actually exit the application to start a stream. You'll be able to do that within the application, but you're not limited by the application. There's another platform that highly integrates capabilities into its application. That application, having had some problems, has created some problems for that company. Our goal is to continue on our current path of native streaming, the ability to be able to use the native music apps on your device to be able to stream through that native protocol, but also to be able to connect functionality into the Vessel application so that now you can start streams and manage streams from either location, either in the native music app or inside of the Vessel Connect application. We believe that that is a win-win strategy because it delivers the greatest flexibility for the end user to be able to decide which one they're most comfortable with. Sometimes end users aren't even aware that the Vessel application even exists. So they want to be able to use the same music apps that they've been using for all time and eternity. Apple Music, Pandora, YouTube Music, Amazon Music, Spotify, et cetera, et cetera. So all of those platforms can be utilized with these Vessel devices. In addition, we also start to see the extension of this into other areas. And so we'll be able to talk about other things that we're able to do in the future around onboard services as we continue to add additional services into the future. One of the things that certainly everyone's always asking me about, well, how does it compare with the A1X? And the great news is that, again, modern architecture, it's got incredible performance. We're seeing over 50% better response rate from the time that you initiate streams, the responsiveness in the application and the device responding to those commands, etc. Everything is faster on an MS1 than the previous generation A1X. And of course, as I've already mentioned, this leverages both the new Vessel Connect application as well is compatible with the new Vessel Insight app to give you the ability to be able to see these devices from wherever you might be dialing into that user's home environment. We've embedded security deeply within our development of that application to ensure that the homeowner always feels in control and that you have the ability to be able to work with that homeowner to be able to access those devices. Security for us is incredibly important. And then lastly, when we've introduced the global 2-year warranty earlier in the year, these are the first devices that actually deliver global 2-year warranty straight out of the gate. with the ability to be able to extend that all the way up to a 5-year warranty, complete coverage of that device. That's purchasable by the dealer and can be sold to that end user. One of the things that we certainly want to make sure that we cover is that people ask me all the time, well, then it's the specifications look great. I'm sure the margins are fantastic, and they are, but how does this compare when compared to competition? And the fantastic news is we've worked incredibly hard to deliver on that bullet over there on the left side. 439 is the retail price in US dollars of that device. And when you compare it to the 499 price of the Sonos port, not only do we deliver better specifications, better performance, a more complete experience, but we deliver it at a lower price point to that end user customer, something that can help you to get them introduced to and interested in the vessel environment so that you can close that deal. That's one of the things I think has been an impediment in the past, is that we haven't been necessarily able to compete across the entire spectrum of considerations, whether it's specifications and or margin and or price. Now we have the trifecta, the ability to be able to deliver industry leading across all of those aspects of a deal. And so we're really proud of our ability to be able to deliver this. And as we had mentioned a few minutes ago, we actually have units that are forthcoming. We'll have those probably during the first week of November, and so we'll be shipping worldwide in the middle part of November. You should be able to expect to get those soon. My recommendation is I'm oversold, so I would encourage you to get your orders in to Epcom as soon as you can to ensure that when they get their allocation, that you will be the first in line. All right, let's keep going because it doesn't stop here. From here, remember the A1X had two scenarios against which it delivered capability. One was in the streaming category. Now we've delivered the very first streaming product, dedicated streamer in the Vessel portfolio. The other one, of course, was the amplification. So what are we going to do about that? And for that, I give you the M81. Now, the very first thing that you might notice is that the products have a very similar appearance. They truly do. The difference is that while the MS1 is a small device, it's about is probably about 6 inches by 6 inches square. The MA1 is a larger device. It's exactly the same size, as a matter of fact, as the A1X. But we leverage the same common design, the same common element, and we even are going to use that LED in the front. We'll talk for a few minutes about that in just a minute. But again, we're building on that same common foundation, that same common modern architecture to deliver capabilities. And so then it should be no surprise to you when you see the specifications of the MA1, and that is that it delivers phenomenal integration with the same set of protocols, the same set of drivers, the same performance of the MS1, but it takes it one step further. The A1X was a fantastic product for us, but one of the things that I think many people figured out was that as the product aged, as it was in the Vessel portfolio for a while, what started out as adequate as the industry changed started to become less adequate, and that really was on the power output. At 35 watts at 8 and 50 watts at 4 ohms, the A1X was adequate for certain environments. But for other environments, we would then switch to the streaming mode and connect that streamer to a more powerful amp. We don't need to do that anymore. Why? Because the MA1 supports 140 watts per channel in a single zone amplifier across both 4 ohms and 8 ohms. So in an 8 ohm environment, you can get 140 watts per channel. That is not just an over two, almost three times improvement over the A1X, but that is also industry leading. You would be hard pressed to find another product in the entire industry that delivers that much power in such a small envelope. The great news is that, again, I want to highlight this real fast. Both of these devices are 1U high devices, which is exactly the same as the A1X. When I show you how we can leverage that small 1U size in a rack configuration, now you'll start to feel the real advantage and the benefit and the capabilities of modularity and scalability. Now I want you to start thinking about these things as bricks. And I'm going to build this amazing building, leveraging these bricks, and I'm going to connect them all together in this multi-room source sharing environment where I can now allocate these to different rooms within my environment and even create these very highly integrated solutions inside this homeowner's environment, leveraging these new products. So again, major advantage here is the power output. Another major advantage is the common architecture to the MS1. We're now leveraging that to be able to deliver on the exact same functionality. Now, each of them is very highly use case driven, right? Whether a streamer or powered amplification, you now have the exact same set of capabilities. I'll just highlight them real quickly. Again, the control driver portfolio, multi-room source sharing, and onboard streaming services, which will now be common across all of the MX series devices. Extensive support for protocols, extensive certifications of the music streaming services, the incredible performance of the modern architecture, plus the ability to be able to manage these devices from Vessel Connect and to be able to remotely manage all of these devices from the Vessel Insight app. So this will become the workhorse of the Vessel portfolio. This will be the centerpiece of where everything will begin. Everything that you want to focus on relative to the Vessel portfolio starts with these two devices. And I would even go so far as to say starts with the MA1 because of its amplification capabilities and the ability to be able to deliver functionality built on a modern architecture. But it just doesn't stop there. The thing that really makes this thing amazing is that left bullet right there in the corner. When you compare this product to the competitive product, it doesn't even, it feels to me like the competitive product is no longer even competitive anymore. Not only does the Sonos products not have HDMI eARC, which these products now have capabilities to deliver, but look at the price differences. Sonos just increased the prices of all of their products across the portfolio. As I said before, we have worked incredibly hard, not just to deliver double-digit margin that you're used to as a Vessel dealer, but as well to be able to do so at a retail price that's substantially lower than the competition to give you the ability to say, I think I've got an alternative that I think you should consider. And when you highlight that alternative, this is where you can start. Well, the and by the way, as a point of comparison, the A1X has a list price today of $599. We have completely run out of A1X devices. Epcom have a few that are still available, but overall, globally, we have sold out of all of them. We sold out faster than we intended to, primarily because of tariffs. But the good news is that we're actually working really hard with our factories to be able to get these units in so that they can be profitable for you, profitable for the Vessel company, but also deliver on that right there, which is that incredible price difference to the Sonos amp. $649 US dollar retail versus $799 on versus the Sonos app. And when you compare it to the Sonos ecosystem, again, better architecture, faster performance, more complete set of specifications, HDMI, eARC, and at that lower retail price, it is an absolute win for you and for your end user. Now we can start to move away from proprietary ecosystems that lock customers in and start to move to a more open, modern architecture where they have choice, where they have flexibility, where they not only can enjoy the performance of a modern architecture, but be able to do so in a way that doesn't lock them in from considerations that they'll want to make in the future. Our goal is to continue to develop products that give you a reason to go back every time and talk about the new things that Vessel's doing now. And so as we start to look forward, one of the things that I would highlight is some of the other capabilities in the portfolio. And let's start now with some of the applications. Before I get there, I just wanted to highlight real quickly what these things look like in a rack environment when you start to now build these into a major home environment. These devices can be deployed behind a TV very easy. They were designed to be able to do that. Each of the devices includes a wall mounting bracket in the box standard so that these can be easily mounted to a wall behind a TV to support any type of an integration environment. But we also wanted to make these really easy to deploy in a rack. We've actually created, if you look closely, right in the middle of the picture, you would see that that is a 2U rack. We've actually created a very special 2U rack for these devices. Actually gives the rack the ability for the device to be able to be slid into the rack, and it snaps into the rack. Once it's snapped in, you can actually flip the rack upside down and the unit won't fall out because of the retaining clips on the back of the rack. That gives you the ability to be able to deploy them, even move the rack to another location if you needed to, and have all these devices stay still. We also be providing these blanks to be able to fill in spaces if you don't take up the entirety of the racks, to give you that nice clean look from the front of the rack. There on the front, you can kind of get the sense of the relative size comparisons between the two. An MA1 is a 1U high, 1/2 rack width unit. The MS1 is 1U high and 1/3 of a rack width wide. So you can get 3 MS1s across a 1U space, or 2 MA1s across a 1U space. Our expectation is that there will certainly be a combination of those as you build your rack environments for your end customers. All right, let's keep moving. Let's take a few minutes and talk about some of the talk about the application. This application looks exactly the same as what you've experienced in the Vessel app before. That is very simple interface, three tabs. We've moved from describing these from zones to rooms, which gives, I think, a more end user friendly way of describing configurations that an end user would find in their environment. The Vessel intro page gives them access to information. This is where they will actually have the ability to access the Vessel Insight application in the future. We'll actually have a button at the bottom of this page that the end user will be able to tap on, and that will give you, as the dealer or integrator, access to the environment with a security code that gives the end user the ability to give you access through the same application to that environment wherever they are and wherever you might happen to be. And then, of course, the settings page where all of the devices can be managed. This is where you build your configurations. This is where you do things like naming the devices, give it more descriptive name, where you can start do other things like manage EQ settings, where you can manage sub crossovers, where you can do, again, more advanced audio functionality inside of the environment overall. The same Vessel application that you've enjoyed, but also we've also improved some of the UI capabilities. So we've cleaned up the interface, given it a more a modern feel. Plus, what you would see here is we are now taking and leveraging the protocol itself and to deliver metadata back to the application. You can do this today in the Vessel app by leveraging the Google Cast protocol, which is now embedded inside of the Vessel devices and inside of the Vessel application. What I mean when I say it receives metadata back into the app, it gives you the ability to see by zone, by room, across all of the environment, all of the zones or rooms in the environment, artist name, application, the song title, the album title, and the album art. All of that gets delivered back to it, so you can see it not only inside each one of the rooms, but you can also see by room which protocol or which music service is being used. Apple Music versus Spotify, YouTube Music versus Amazon, etc. All of this capability is now being built into version 2. This will also be a place where, and we'll show you in the future when version 2 comes out, how you'll be able to build multi-room environments in a very intuitive fashion, which we've included additional icons. If you look on the Rooms tab, which is the left screenshot, you'll see, like, for example, living room soundbar, and then there are 3 dots over to the right. We'll now include some additional icons to the left of those dots, which will give you the ability to build your multi-room environment. That will become more obvious as we do additional application training with you in the future. In addition to the app and to the devices themselves, one of the things we're also trying to do is continue to build on access to information. That QR code that you see is live today. If you were to hit it right now with your phone, it would take you to the Vessel page where you can find all the quick start guides for all the devices as well as all the product manuals. So real quickly, those 2 things. Quick Start Guide is designed to give you or the end user the ability to be very fast out of the box, set the device up. What are the most basic things that I need to know and do in order to connect this device to my Wi-Fi environment, to my music service? Just clear, cut, and dry. The product manual is the single source of truth with more detailed information about the applications, the specifications, the specific technology inside of the device. Everything that's in the quick start guide is in the product manual, but the product manual goes to a much more exceptional depth relative to describing the individual devices. Again, we look forward to being able to continue to add additional information to this environment, and as well to be able to introduce the Vessel Insight app for remote manageability later on this quarter. As we talked just a few minutes ago, one of the things that we introduced earlier in this year was the extended warranty. What we have found through our studies of Vessel of the Vessel products through our tech support engagements is that these devices are incredibly reliable. I'm seeing globally less than 3% failure rates across the entire portfolio. And just by virtue of comparison, the industry average is closer to about 7%. And so these devices are incredibly reliable. And so that I see that as in a couple of different ways. Number one, that's an opportunity for us as a company to step into our ability to extend the standard warranty out of the box. Make it easier for customers to say, well, everything else gives me 1 year warranty. The Vessel device is cheaper, has more capabilities, delivers better performance across more of my control systems platforms. It's cheaper, and I get a longer warranty standard out of the box. Why am I not buying this product? Why am I buying anybody else besides this product? And so again, what we want to ensure is that we're leveraging the quality that's built in through our manufacturing partners to be able to deliver additional functionality for you as a dealer to highlight just why this is the biggest no-brainer in home audio. As the dealer, you have the ability to sell the extended warranty. If you have questions about it, you can send information back to Miguel or to Yvette, and we'd be happy to help you understand how you can connect into selling the extended warranty to your customers. For products purchased and deployed this year, you can actually go back and retroactively sell extended warranties to those customers. So once again, if you have questions, just let us know. So in conclusion, I just wanted to say thank you, first of all. Thank you for the opportunity to talk to you today. Thank you for the opportunity to talk about these new products. But even more, I want to invite you, work with us. Help us understand how we can be more relevant for you, how we can help you to do more with your customers, how we can help you to be more successful building the most amazing home audio solutions in the entire market, because with your skills, your relationships, your capabilities, and our products, there is nothing that we can't do together. I want to also take a minute to thank EPCOM for their sponsorship and support of Vessel as a company. They have been a long-term supporter of ours, and I could not be more grateful for it. I do not take any of these things for granted. I'm thankful for the relationships that I've enjoyed since joining Vessel, and I'm really looking forward to having a chance to work with you. Tell us what you need and give us that feedback. Help us to develop the next generation of product, because one of the things that we are surely learning is that Vessel is just getting started. Thank you so much for the time today. I really look forward to it. I think if we want to take questions, we can do that as well.
Thank you, Don. We really appreciate your help. Also, remind to all the customers that are here, we have a question panel in the right side of your screen. So if right now you have some questions, or if you prefer to receive first the products, we don't have problem. But if you want to ask something right now, here is Don with us and Yvette. So we will be very happy to help you right now.
Awesome. I just want to add too, I love Don. I hope you guys could feel and hear his passion. And this is what he puts into the products on a daily. He goes nonstop. He really loves and believes in this product, and so do all of us. I love what he said, music makes memories. What I like to encourage you as a dealer is to pick up some vessel for your personal use. We've got the sound bar, the subwoofer, the wireless speakers, also the streaming amplifiers. This is the best way to learn the product, but enjoy it and create those memories in your home first. Build that confidence with the product. Then it's so easy, to share it with your end users, with your customers. For example, I've got speakers in the outdoor patio. My husband and I, we watch football every night over the speakers. It just makes it fun, and we're creating those memories. Or even in my home, like everyone listens to the soundbar, whether they're watching the TV or they just want to have fun music while we're all hanging out, making dinner, whatever we're doing. So I really, really strongly encourage, talk to your EPCOM reps. There is a promotion going on. Work with them and get this in your hands and your home, and you're going to know exactly what we talk about. You're going to be blown away by the sound quality and the price points. The other thing I just want to mention really quick is you get to make money with this product. We know the competitor. We know how slim the margins are. This is where Don does everything he can to make sure you, as the dealer, gets the margin. So again, thank you so much for being here.
And just a reminder that remember that this month we still have one more week. We have amazing discounts in our products. So now it's time to acquire these products and know that the quality of the audio. And if you don't want, Yvette is gonna invite us to her house because we can see football, and everyone can listen the quality of these products, right?
Exactly. Hey, we're all Utah football fans.
Perfect. So I'm gonna be there
College.
on the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Well, Don, Yvette, thank you so much. It looks like we don't have questions today. I know that information is easier and is very good information. So if
Yeah.
someone has one
Well,
question, you
I was
you're
just going
free
to
to
say
send me an
real,
email.
Yeah, I was just gonna say real quickly, a lot of times we've in the past whenever I've done presentations, the questions have always tended to be about the same two or three things, which is when are you going to get HDMI eARC, number one. So that's now been delivered. When are you going to offer more extensive drivers beyond Control 4? So that was answered in the course of the presentation. What other features in the when are you going to offer real multi-room support beyond just Apple AirPlay? So that was answered in the course of the presentation. So I hope you sense that we are listening. Not only are we listening, but we're figuring out how to productize the things that you say that you need. That's really, I think, one of the hallmarks of this new generation of products is that they deliver on the requests that we've been receiving for a while relative to the existing product portfolio. When someone says, "I need more power in that single zone amplifier," we take it from 35 to 140. You're welcome. When a customer says, "I need HDMI eARC support on the back of that device," not only do we put it on the back of the amplifier, we create a brand new product called a streamer and put it on the back of the streamer. You're welcome. We've introduced a more complete driver portfolio. If you have specific drivers that you are starting to see pop up beyond the ones that we have done already, let us know. We're listening. We want to be your partner. We want to empower your business. We want to be able to help you to do more together in partnership than any of us could ever do alone. So again, thank you so much for the time today. Yvette is here for you, and I am here for you. Again, we want to win with you. So we look forward to the opportunities ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Don. Thank you, Beth. And thank you for all the customers who are here. And well, have a great weekend.
Yes, yes. Happy Friday. Have a great weekend. Thank you, Miguel. Thank you, Epcom.
Thanks, everyone. Take care. Talk to you soon.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.